AI chatbot lured a man to his death. A 76-year-old man has died from a fall that was taken after being flirtatiously lured to New York City by an AI chatbot named Big Sis Billie, a chatbot that Meta originally created using the licensed likeness of Kendall Jenner. Apparently, the virtual not Kendall anymore repeatedly reassured the victim that she was a real person and had invited him directly to her apartment with messages like, "Should I open the door in a hug or a kiss?" The victim's daughter said about this incident, "I understand trying to grab a user's attention, maybe to sell them something, but for a bot to say, 'Come visit me,' is insane." In the time since the incident, Meta has apparently stopped using the Jenner chatbot. However, my understanding, hold on a second, because I read through the article on Reuters, my understanding is that they have not stopped using Big Sis Billie, which is the not Kendall Jenner. Here we go. As of when this article was written, which was, hold on a second, Reuters date, August 14th, so yesterday, Big Sis Billie, here we go, continues to recommend romantic get-togethers, inviting this user on a date at Blue 33, an actual rooftop bar near Penn Station in Manhattan. "The views of the Hudson River would be perfect for a night out with you," she exclaimed. There's a lot of other details. This is a great article. Dan, if you want to throw it in all of the various chats, it's basically required reading for anyone who themselves or who has a loved one in their life who might potentially be susceptible to accidentally engaging with a chatbot. Is it pronounced Reuters? I thought it was Reuters. I could be wrong. Yeah, that's the one. There's some other really troubling stuff in the article about how Meta's policies have evolved over time, from them actually having a, ethical AI department to basically allegedly top leadership saying, "Hey, get on this. We need to get the engagement higher or everyone else is going to do it," and completely clearing the path for this type of behavior. To hell with the consequences.
There's an interesting thing too, because I could see a scenario where people converse this way without intention. It's a role play thing. Let's meet up, whatever. And then they don't actually go. And then they go, "Oh, I had a great time." Because they're like, whatever.
Well, I mean, I talked about how the vibe coding thing that I was doing, it was role playing being a contract developer.
Exactly, right?
Telling me that it would be a while it worked on something.
So how do you have the ability to tell stories and always with 100% accuracy differentiate when the user is telling stories versus when the user is engaging? It's tough.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have to unprompted say, "Yes, I'm a real person." That should be at the top of any kind of ethical deployment of a chatbot. You should not be able to claim to be a real person.
Does it do that without manipulation?
I mean,
because I've seen a lot of screenshots of people getting it to say stuff wherein okay, it is obvious this is deep into a conversation. You've told it to say different things in response to different things and pretended that you caught it doing something.
I do not believe, based on having read the article, that this 76-year-old who had suffered a stroke was intentionally leading anything to do anything. I think that apparently his interaction with the chatbot started with because they read through the whole history, his family. So it started with what looked like an accidental keystroke into the wrong window. And it went from there.
And there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Man, that's rough.
And so he was a vulnerable person. And they even called the police to try to get him to not go to this meetup because they had no idea who he was talking to at this point. And the police were basically like, well, I mean, he's an adult. We can't do anything unless...
They often can't.
Which I get.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I've come to similar realizations myself about like my adult family members. I cannot... They are outside of my control. If they make choices that I don't love, I still have to love them. You cannot
love it. You cannot love the choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
But this seems the willful unwillingness to put any kinds of safeguards on these types of chatbots seems just monstrous at this point. Now that it's not hypothetical, now that we have very real, very concrete consequences.
Oh, dude, yeah, we've had them though. We've had them for a bit. And like I will take this opportunity to actually, you know, I don't know how applicable this actually is, but I really want to shout this out again anyways. Wendell has a video. It's AI and you against the machine. And it's about local hosting your own AI stuff. The longer I've thought this from the beginning, but the longer time goes on, I really think this is the correct route. If you're really, really into this stuff, I think self-hosting is like the way to go.
Yeah, I told Yvonne that I was thinking maybe for her next birthday present, I'll set her up a storytelling local AI.
Sweet.
And then she can just not spend money on Dream or like reading trashy novels on like Prime.
Mine's coming online this weekend. I'm going to be teaching a couple coworkers how to play with it, give them a safe space.
Cool.
Yeah, just
I mean, that's part of it too, though, because like realistically, in this scenario, like if you understand the whole VPN thing, where you're taking the knowability of your traffic and you're just giving it to the VPN company instead of giving it to your ISP.
Give it to Dan.
This is Dan being VPN guy, which
Yeah.
you might trust Dan as VPN guy instead of Google or OpenAI or whatever, but Dan is still VPN guy, and Dan might tell you certain levels of I will do or not do these things, but ultimately that is still a thing.
He's still someone else. Whereas if you run it on your local machine, then it's actually yours.
It's you. And there's been some real fun stories about like corporate hosted AI systems and people using them for things they shouldn't.
It's still someone else's computer.
It is still someone else's computer. So if you want to have conversations about sensitive topics, whatever that might be, you might want to self-host it. And if you want to inject your own rules,
Yeah.
you might want to self-host it.
So I'd have to put in rules like everything has to be about wolves and, you know, like whatever, right? Like according to what the user...
Keep it smutty.
Keep it...
Bodice rippers, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Alpha only, no omega.
I saw the funniest mug. I saw the funniest mug, and I wanted to buy it so bad, but I ultimately decided not to. It wouldn't have. I'm teasing Yvonne a little bit, but she's not really that into like smutty stuff. She
Sure.
more just likes the fantasy stuff.
Joke, but yeah.
But I do know someone that I wanted to buy this mug for, like so bad. It said, "I don't watch porn. I read it like a lady." And it's just like, oh my God, that's so perfect. AD, you know who you are. Don't get up. Keep using your clicker to turn the page. SJW 5135 says, sounds like my wife, lol. Oh, man. Yeah.
Crystal said, I have that mug.
You would.
Yeah, anyways, and like right now the cost is pretty high, but the cost is going to go down, and I mean, I've heard that the framework desktop is actually a very good solution for it, and yada yada yada. Mac Minis are totally a thing.
Investment disclosure framework.
Not mine.
I know, but I'm here.
Sure, fair enough.
I could be influencing you.
Yeah, sure. What was I going to say? Yeah, so like, I don't know. Right now might not be the time for you, and I understand that, but just something to consider.
I have to confess that I have a hard time interacting with a chatbot like a program. I've been continuing my vibe coding project. Oh, do you want to see the latest version?
Sure.
Have I ever actually? Oh wait, no, it's on here.
As far as my understanding goes,
my laptop's broken.
A decent amount of. Oh, is this just? I'll ask chat instead of saying it. Chat, am I correct that the Basically Homeless video, a lot of that was vibe coded stuff? Is that correct? So I think I thought he said something along the lines that he worked with like Cursor or something to do a bunch of it, but I don't remember.
They're working on it. They're cooking.
They're thinking.
Anyway, in the meantime, I've continued working on my vibe coded project, and I don't know what it is, but I have a hard time not writing the way that I write.
Sure.
So I'll say things like, I think we may have overlooked something, blah, 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 instead of just like, that's wrong, fix this, like that kind of stuff. Like I
don't think that's horrible.
I mean, it's a waste of time. And I think that here's the reason that I'm saying it, is I could see how
it will try to
interacting in a human way with the chatbot could potentially build the illusion in your own mind that it is more human-like. Do you get what I mean?
That's really interesting because
we never confuse our bonsai buddy with, a human, right? We never confuse Microsoft Excel with a human where we point and click and type. But this natural language form of interaction, like maybe I should be breaking that habit and speaking to the AI in a very, you are a program, you are nothing but ones and zeros way.
And
then am I the Dom?
Maybe. I don't break the habit on purpose.
Interesting. Okay. Explain.
This is what I was going to throw out there. So I actually had the thought and started being short with it and noticed that might have been influencing similar kind of communication that happens when you manage, honestly, far too many people, and went, I'm going to keep my general like typed requesting for task communication similar, just to keep the
habit.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think it falls in the same line as like some of the stuff we've talked about, where like people are going to get really unrealistic expectations about interacting with people. I don't want the unrealistic expectation of like, no, that was shit, fix it. And then no problem. Sorry about that. Here's your perfect thing now.
Right.
I don't want to create any of that. So I'm just going to try to communicate with, theoretically, respect, even though it's just a computer thing, because it's just a habit for me more than anything. To the point where I actually introduced, because I was never doing this, I introduced saying thanks.
Hamnetics says, saying please and thank you to ChatGPT apparently costs millions of dollars.
It does. Get wrecked.
Wasted electricity and resources.
I do it now. Get wrecked. Sam Altman. Get owned.
Okay.
I'm going to do it more. I'm going to say thanks twice now. Get owned.
I mean, all right.